What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. In this one, we have some pretty funny chats. We actually talk about the fire that is engulfing Utah as we speak. We talk about Drake. We talk about Elon Musk. We talk about Bert and Ernie, Post Malone, Paddington Bear. We have so many good topics on this one, and we're fueled up. So I hope you enjoy, all right? Stay tuned, all right? See ya.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
What's up, gang? We know you can't hear us.
Why can't they hear us?
Well, I can't hear you.
Oh, we can't hear you, but you guys can hear us, hopefully, because that's the podcast. That's the point, right?
I said that wrong.
It's all good. They weren't listening. We can play the intro music over it. We can fade it.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we have that as a
We're
fallback.
definitely not doing it, though.
I'm in charge of
No, this
editing
whole
things.
thing won't work if you do.
This is already a train wreck. Anyways.
It's all good.
Oh
This
my gosh.
episode might be a train wreck, but
Yes.
we have some big planning for next month. The Halloween October specials. Don't we?
October is going to be a big month.
Why
ladies
is
and
that?
gents. We got lots of spooky stories we're going to tell. Real spooky.
What do you mean spooky?
I'm talking like you're going to be scared out of your little Paddington Bear pajamas, Brian.
I don't know. They're pretty warm, man. They're pretty comfy. I feel
Where'd
powered.
you get those? Can you send me a link?
No, I had to get them custom ordered off of Etsy.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Not Ryan. Sean, what do you think about the Halloween special coming up?
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've been this hyped for a Halloween since like
Last
the
year.
7th last year in the 7th grade.
Halloween is a favorite. It's fire. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have some episodes planned. Some
do.
spooky stories that have been given permission for us to read on
Yes.
the podcast.
Uh-huh.
So we finished our first script for the first episode, first draft, a couple days ago.
It's going to be fire.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool, really different. It might be clunky at first. We hope not. We hope we'll be able to get all the bugs out soon. But
Yeah, if it sounds like garbage, let us know. We love hearing your negative feedback. That's honestly my favorite. I've actually never gotten negative feedback. Anyways, Halloween will be dope. It's going to be fire. Speaking of fires,
our whole state's on fire.
our
We are
entire
on
state-
fire.
I thought, remember last year when like California was on fire?
And this year when California was on fire,
Was they also on
Yeah.
fire this year? What's
Yeah.
their deal?
they're just dry.
What's their problem?
They're dry.
Seriously.
They have no water.
Get your
all
shit
suck.
together, California.
Yeah.
But Braden's house is on fire right now.
It could be. Honestly, if I came home and my entire house was in flames, I'd be like, oh, shit. I hope the insurance gives me a good check.
Oh.
Insurance, pay my tuition, please.
I don't think they would, man.
No, they probably wouldn't.
Did
But
you take pictures of everything yet?
do you
So
have
they
to?
recommend to do for
Oh,
your
do they?
insurance, so you can show them photos of everything.
Oh, can I take pictures of your stuff?
My stuff.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
say it's mine.
Just Google nice thing, nice house.
Room full of nice things. Drake's mansion. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is everything I lost. It's like, you have a Lamborghini? I'm like, I did.
I did in my room, and now it's gone. So what are you gonna do about it?
I had a McLaren as a wall, and now guess what? It burned down.
Burned.
Anyways, yeah, I'm like a block away from pre-evacuation. So
Oof.
Yeah,
God.
you're fine.
no, nothing.
Your house is
nothing
okay.
will touch me. But like,
My
I'm afraid they'll do the mandatory shit. Like, you have to leave or we'll fine you. And I don't want to leave because all my clothes are there and my shower's there
What?
and my bed's there.
that's why you
Okay,
take
wait.
your
They
clothes.
don't fine you for not evacuating,
They
do
do.
they?
Yeah,
They fine you for not
go back up
evacuating?
there because people have problems with robberies when everyone evacuates. So you get like fined or some shit.
Okay, so my aunt.
It
and
might be
uncle-
worth it though.
No, stop, Sean. Let me tell you something. My aunt and uncle are staying at my house right now because they live in Elk Ridge and they
Oh,
went
yeah?
on mandatory evacuations.
Oh,
That's why
damn.
they've been here.
That sucks.
They've been here for like the last couple of days, and they were worried about theft because the firemen say, hey, leave your doors unlocked so in case they need to get in, they can to put out fires and whatnot.
Yes. Wait, why would they have to get in to put out a fire?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
If in case they need to use
Essentially,
your sink, of course.
Sean was just hella set on, yo, let's go up and rob that place. Let's go.
Great way to make a living. Go up into the, because it's just nothing but rich people.
Well,
up
it
there.
turns out,
a whole bunch of rich people.
turns
It's either-
out
yeah.
that there's cops up there all the time. That's what all the cops are doing right now is patrolling so nobody loots.
I like it.
And there's a nice neighborhood watch going on where people who want to be for guys who in their 40s who want to play cops can go up there and patrol around and stuff,
Oh, that's so lame.
which is like
That's
douchier
so
than any
lame.
cops.
Oh,
So
you
no,
bastard.
Sean, the looting is not a good move.
Hey, son, get back here.
Yeah.
Hey, son, come here.
This is my home. I just came to pick up this pearl necklace
And this TV.
this Blu-ray player.
No, I know a couple days ago they weren't letting, like they would stop you when you go up there and then ask for your ID, see like your driver's license, your address, to
Yeah.
see if your address was up there.
Mhm.
And then like they would escort you and they said that you could only grab like emergency or medical supplies or something.
Yeah, like pills and all
Yeah.
that.
And so I don't know. It's kind of weird.
If you're listening to this podcast, don't rob people.
The people are already going through enough because they're not at their house right now because it might burn to the ground. I wouldn't recommend robbing them. Have you guys seen that? There's that thing right in the river bottoms. There's a whole bunch of tents out there. Have you seen
Yeah.
I
that,
have
Sean?
not seen
They
that.
call it the fire camp.
Is that what it is? What is that? What is the fire camp? Do you know?
It's a camp for
Is it for the firemen or is it for?
no, it's for the evacuees.
There's a camp for the firemen in Payson, right
there
next to
is?
my house. Yeah. So you know where the ball fields are in Payson? Right next to it, there's like a little it's like a dirt bike track or whatever it is. But like they have like big old tents with like some water things, and there's like a couple fire trucks that park there. So I guess some people sleep there and then like go up in the morning. Yeah.
I feel. I kind of had a rant with you this morning
you
about.
did. You dumped you dumped your load on me.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that I did that, but I did spill some thoughts that I was having.
Please share with the podcast, share with the people.
I'm not here to take anything away from anyone or challenge anyone's beliefs. You know what I mean? But I just was
But
getting.
God is dead.
No, God is not. God is not dead.
I saw an opportunity and I took it. Please
That's
go
okay. I'm not here to take anything away from anyone, but people. I saw a lot of posts in the last couple of days, and I
Yes.
think you did
on.
too,
Of course.
of people like posting on social media, like, "Oh my god," or "Oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening in my hometown." Like, please
Uh-huh.
pray for everyone, or all sorts of, or like, "This is so sad. Look at this picture of the canyon that I took here last week. Isn't this so sad?"
Yeah.
And like, again, I'm not going to tell anyone how to social media because I don't care.
Care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not my duty to do that. But like, I don't know. I just think it's a little silly, don't you think? In a
It's-
way, like
It's just like I feel like in California they're like, oh, we're burning again. Like, don't have to post about this. But like in my hometown in Spanish Fork, Utah, and it's just like it is kind of goofy. Like and like they're always like, yeah, pray for the firefighters, which like props to them. That's cool.
yeah,
Like there's a ton of firefighters up there doing their job. That's dope. But like they're kind of like hitting it hard on social media.
yeah.
Real hard.
Well, and it's like, if you're praying to God, I don't know how this is going to come across,
oh boy.
but I mean, if you're praying to God to help put out the fire,
Uh-huh.
we might need to consider what started the fire in the first place, which was a lightning strike, which in many cultures and throughout time has been prevailed as a sign of God, and so this is like nature. Do you know what I mean? This is
Yep.
just nature doing its thing. If humans weren't here, this has happened millions of times before us, where just lightning strikes and it burns the forest down and it takes out and it grows back. Because that's what it needs to do. Nature just needs to hit the reset button, or God needs to hit the reset button, whatever you want to call it. Like,
Yep.
that's what it is. Do you know
It's
what I
just
mean?
the fact that we all live here and we have to stop it because we're humans. It's what we do.
But
Like you
personally,
said that.
yeah, like what I see it is like the people who are posting all this stuff are the people who use the landscapes to take their Instagram photos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
Uh-huh.
like that's cool too, you know, document your life and have great photos and beautiful photos, but like what's the reason for it? Is I can't post on social media anymore, or this thing that I used to enjoy for me is gone versus
Yeah.
this thing that used to get a lot of recognition is gone. I don't know.
Yes.
Not to speak for anyone, of course, but yeah. But at the same time, you know, it's like it is our duty as humans to do everything that we can to fight the bad in the world and to
Mhm.
protect the world that we live in. And so it's like, you know, obviously the valiant effort from the firefighters and all that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. God bless them sincerely. But it's not. This isn't the end of the world. The forest will look bad for a couple of years, and it'll be back in 10 years or 5
Hey,
years.
you all want to leave Utah anyway. I hear what you say.
I see you.
I see you. I know you're listening right now. You want to leave, okay? Get out of here. Go to California and burn there, okay?
Or go to Florida and drown there. You pick.
Why don't we take the hurricane and put it on Spanish Fork?
For real,
easy
we should
fix.
just push it. It's not hard, is it? Sean, what are your thoughts on this fire shenanigans?
It's
this
hot.
doozy. It's
Nah,
hot. This
I
hot
mean-
take.
First of all, I think that we have every right to fight against even nature. Like, I think that if it's something that was brought about by a lightning strike, I mean, it's something that was in our control initially. I mean, people saw like that there was a fire starting in the mountains. They were like, yeah, let's let it take its course for the very reason that it's something that's natural. It's something that is actually essential for nature. But with that, I mean, you have people that, live around there that, it's kind of putting their homes in danger. And from what I hear, nothing's been burned yet. Like, their homes haven't been burned or anything, but they're still in danger. I mean, you still have like hundreds of evacuees who's, for the time being, even though it's probably for a short while, they've had to move away from their homes and whatever inconveniences that has brought. But on top of that, I know of one guy in particular who he had like a herd of cattle up in the canyon, and
Yeah, there's
that
a lot of cows that have been cooked recently.
Yeah.
I've
Like
seen
thousands.
I've seen
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
pictures on Instagram.
I'm not saying that we
So-
shouldn't fight it. I'm saying
No,
as
yeah.
humans we have every right and we should. That's what makes us human, is to fight back and to survive and
Yes.
to
Mhm.
fight for what's beautiful in this world. I'm just saying that it's not like
It's just taking its course.
this tragic tale of of woe of just the
I think it is pretty tragic. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, for at least from like our perspective and everything. I mean, even though like it is something that is a part of the natural course of the world and stuff. I mean, you've had like this canyon that's been there, that's flourished for years and everything, and you have not only people that live around there, but like it's a beautiful place to go and get away from everything. And now it's all kind of burnt down to a crisp. I mean, there's nothing.
yeah. But I'm trying
There's-
to distance myself and seeing it on almost like a universal scale, where it's like you or I don't get upset when a prey kills an animal to feed its kids.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? And from a billion-year standpoint, that's what I would argue is Mother Nature's doing, is it's killing a very small portion of the world so that it can grow again and have new life. Otherwise, you have overpopulation and it goes dry because it's sucking up too much water and all sorts of stuff. It's like, it is sad for us right now, but we're living in the smallest fraction of existence that, from a full perspective, I don't know if it is so tragic.
Yeah.
It's tragic and not tragic for many reasons, but at the moment it's tragic. But on a billion-year perspective, it doesn't matter at all. Like, it's very minimal,
Yeah.
But
And from that perspective, like, I don't have an argument towards that. I'm just kind of like, I'm not against the fire, because that'd be stupid. I mean, the chance to contain it has already passed.
No, I'm pro
so there's
fire.
no pro fire. Let it
let's burn this shit to the ground.
Yeah, who's this lightning guy? I'm behind that. I'm behind him.
Is it Zeus? That Zeus character from the Percy Jackson books?
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to line up all the helicopters at the top of the mountain and just send the helicopters gusts downhill so that it does burn the homes.
You want to
everything.
propel the fire?
Yes, feed it.
Feed the fire.
But I guess
yeah,
the only
I'm
thing I'm saying is that I think the tragedy is valid. I think that, it's already affected a bunch of people's lives, and I think it's valid for people to be,
It's scary.
angry about that, even if it's nature. And I mean, from people's perspective, it wasn't only nature's fault. It was, like the people who were in charge of containing that fire in the first place was kind of their fault. I mean, but then again, it's not like they could see it getting so out of hand. I mean, fires, they spread pretty quickly. I mean, like, you'll have a fire that like, is just like a cross breeze will spread to where it's not containable.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I don't know if, like, because I like to think that, like, they were at least, like, keeping an eye on it. Like, like, maybe, like, they were, like, watching,
So tell the story. I don't know if everyone knows about it. Because
like,
you're kind of jumping in towards the end of it. But, like,
Yeah.
what happened?
honestly, like, I only know, like, from what I've heard from, like,
Yeah, me too.
my dad.
So
like,
essentially, there was a tree like on fire because of the lightning strike,
mhm.
and a couple people drove past and they called it in,
Mhm.
and that's when they said, yeah, like it should just burn itself out. We don't want to like ruin the soil trying to get to it or anything like that. It should just burn itself right out. The breeze picked up, and then boom,
Yes.
essentially.
Yeah, because that's what I heard is that they weren't doing anything about it at the beginning because it was very small, one tree,
Mhm.
and then it kind of got really big, really fast.
I feel like personally, I don't know where I draw the line because I feel like I feel like anyone's conditioned to like the smallest amount of fire in nature. You're like, holy shit, you put that out right now.
Mhm.
Like when you're camping and an ash falls on the ground, everyone's like, fire, fire, fire,
Oh,
fire. It's like,
yeah.
whoa, chill. But it's like I don't know. I can't imagine a tree or even like a bush being on fire and in my head not thinking like, okay, that's going everywhere. Just because I feel like that's how fire is.
It just spreads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like we had a bonfire a couple weeks ago, and it was
Yeah.
like I don't know. It was pretty tall. It was probably like 10 or 12 feet tall. The wood that we set up for it.
at Bronson's?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
Bronson's.
a big old fire.
And it's like we had to stand like 25 feet back because of how hot it was, and that was only like a 10-foot flame.
It was a pretty tall fire.
Maybe it was like 15 feet.
It
It was
was
really
a-
tall, but
it
like
was
at
a
the same
generous
time,
15.
it's like now you look at the perspective of if you can see the flames at night flickering and everything.
Yeah, it's a big
That is a
fire.
huge fire, and that is hot. Like,
No, yeah, when we had that fire at his house, like, I couldn't get near. Like, I was like, I want to cook a hot dog. I want to do that. Like, it wouldn't go away.
yeah.
Gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah, so our state's on fire.
Did you guys
Yeah.
that video I sent you guys about the California fire where that guy and his dad were driving through the mountains? Did you guys watch that?
Dude, that was insane.
I don't think
that
I
was
did.
crazy. Like,
Was it?
literally everything was on fire.
Everything next, like to the right and left of them, were just on fire, and they were driving down this road, and they were like trying to go as fast as they can, but if they went too fast, like they'd
fly,
overheat
yeah.
their car, they'd crash, all sorts of stuff. And they were just like praying to God, and they were like driving. It was pretty scary. It looked really freaking cool though,
Like
like
a movie scene.
yeah, like a movie scene. Like it couldn't. Just the level of
Yeah.
destruction and flames was insane. And there was that
Yeah.
meme where it was like the Call of Duty Zombies map. They were on
Oh.
a bus and everything was on fire. I loved that.
I also saw
God.
another one that it was a picture from California, and it looked exactly like that map, like
Transit.
transit. Yeah, I laughed.
The worst map maybe ever.
Probably, yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Black Ops 4. Have you seen the gameplay for that?
Yeah, it's
Looks very bad. The Battle Royale mode is bad.
no Battle Royale is not going to hold up very well.
No. Like, that is already dated.
We need to kill that
Fortnite's
trend.
dying, I think.
I think it'll die in like 2 years.
Let's
Yeah.
hope.
I hope it dies sooner. I'm not a fan.
Eh,
Anyways,
who
Or
cares?
there will be a Fortnite too.
Oh shit!
I want
didn't think about
Minecraft
that.
too.
Dude, Minecraft 2 would be cool.
Right? If you're listening to this podcast and you haven't played Minecraft,
Honestly, like it got memed on, and that's why everyone disassociates it with something that's cool. But really, it's
so
perfect.
fun.
It's like I jumped in a game with Haley the other day,
Yeah.
and we just because we were bored, and I was sick of playing other video games, so I was playing Minecraft on the Switch.
Yeah.
She hopped in, and that game is just fun.
It's just classic.
It is like I was just like collecting wood, and she's like, "What do I do?" I was like, "Punch that tree." And then she's like, "Can I
Yeah.
punch this stone?" I was like, "No."
You have to get a pickaxe.
Here,
for
let
that.
me
She's
make
like,
you.
There's
Let me
tools.
cook you up a pickaxe real quick. Here you go. Drop.
Nighttime's coming.
Next time, build a little shelter. We'll just do a grass one for the night. It's fine.
Yo, was that your house? Yeah, just for tonight. Yeah, but why does it have that green top?
Just for tonight.
Did you? I remember I used to play Minecraft with Morgan Malm,
Yeah.
and he used to go in like friends of friends games,
Yeah.
so they weren't like public,
And grief him.
and grief him.
Fuck that guy.
Morgan-
That's messed up, bro.
Morgan would just go in, speaking of fires, and would just burn down a whole building. Like that would have taken hours to get the
Dude.
resources for, hours to craft, and he would just destroy these beautiful.
Morgan, if you're listening, bro, fuck you.
No, Morgan, dude, you keep doing you, man.
Dude, was he the
No.
one that burned my mansion?
I don't think he was there
Probably.
when we played that.
He's the
I think
reason
that
I,
was
put my
Jay.
game on invite only. I'm just saying.
Sean and we played that with a big group one time, and we were just goofing around, and then I think me and Jay lit it on fire with lava. We just spawned lava on top of it.
So it was you and Jay.
Yeah. Yep.
Ryan's like, it was just Jay. I'm sure Jay did it.
It's a beautiful home.
A beautiful home.
Something beautiful happened on Instagram.
Yeah,
yesterday.
you were pretty excited about
I
it.
was, and I'm a little more upset about it than I was when it first came out.
Okay,
But
for sure.
Paddington Bear, the official account for Paddington,
Paddington himself.
put on one of the Ask Me a Question things.
Okay, wait. Before you go any further, who is Paddington Bear? I guarantee there's so many people that are watching that's like, who is this
Dude,
Paddington?
they know.
No.
The people know.
I barely
He's-
know who Paddington is.
Allow me to explain.
Please
Thank
do.
you.
For those who just really have not seen Paddington.
Who
I
just
haven't.
lived a hole in their unhappy lives.
Yeah, you worthless pieces of shit. Anyway,
Hit him with it.
Hit 'em with it, boy.
Hit him with it.
so he's a cute little bear. I don't know if he's like a really young bear or if he's just like a really small bear.
He's younger.
He's a
He's on the
younger
younger
bear.
side.
But he's got
14.
this cute little blue coat and this little red hat, and he's from Peru.
Does he wear
But he-
shoes?
He wears boots sometimes.
Oh,
I think he
sure.
wears boots sometimes.
What
Yellow
color is
boots?
boots? Yellow. Oh, that's
I
pretty
believe.
cute. That's pretty cute.
Really cute.
Yep.
He's got
He
the
lives
red,
in
yellow, and blue.
the UK with his adopted family.
Mhm.
Are they
The
human?
Browns.
The Browns.
They're human.
Yeah, they're human. They
And-
took him in.
And he's a bear.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's a refugee.
It's kind of like Stuart Little, but
He's a
A little more grounded.
oh shit, is
Yeah, he
Stuart
is.
Little like the American Paddington Bear?
I would argue Curious George is.
UK did it better.
Yeah,
UK did it better.
Anyway.
Curious George is pretty
okay,
awesome.
so Paddington Bear.
Yep.
He's from darkest Peru.
yes,
A bear
his-
from Peru?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. He's a yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
And so what happened was back in the day, a great explorer came out and found two bears. They were their own species. They were totally a brand new species. And instead of, taking one and killing them and bringing them back as specimens,
Yep.
he started talking to them and it was just because they were just so smart. And so they learned his culture and they learned how to speak English with a cute little English accent.
Oh.
And they loved marmalade and they're just the cutest things. And they adopt a cub named Paddington because his family died, and so they adopt a cub.
Uh-huh.
And eventually there's a tragedy, and Paddington has to go away, and so he goes to the UK where he's always wanted to. He goes to London, and he meets the Browns, and he goes on very, very great adventures. The first movie is good if anyone watches it. You might the first one's good. I'll give him that.
I
But
love
the second
the
one.
first one.
The second one is phenomenal. Like, it is so magical. It is one of the greatest movies of the year, no doubt. And by far one of the best kids movies that I've ever seen, because it doesn't
Aw.
like pander like dumb kid movies do. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, ooh, poo jokes, fart jokes, ha ha. You know what I mean? It's like it's just genuinely funny,
Mhm.
well crafted movie, and it just looks beautiful. So Paddington is quite important to me, and so when he put out that Q&A, naturally
on Instagram, the
I s-
Paddington Bear account.
I spammed him with questions.
Okay. What did you ask? Can you give me a few?
Off the top of my head, I probably sent like 20.
20 questions. Did he
20
answer
questions. No. Well, we'll get to that.
Any? Oh.
But first question I asked, will you come to my birthday party? No reply. We'll wait. We'll wait for that one. Second one was, will you come on my podcast at Your Life's a Lie and Here's Why? I was hoping that could get us a plug. I don't think it will.
Most likely.
I think they saw through it. What was my third one?
If you remember all 20, you'll be impressed.
Some of them had to do with the movies.
Okay.
Like kind of nerdier questions, like in this part, why did he do this instead of this? Or there's some spoilers, to be honest with you. Like at the end of Paddington 2, I ask about some certain things that transpire in that movie. All in good taste. I didn't want to harass him in any way, or the staff that manages the account. But what happened was he didn't answer all day yesterday when he put the poll, and then just today he answered like 4 questions that were like obviously a setup. Like they were just like perfectly punctuated and everything like that.
I saw it. I read.
And it was like it was just like textbook stuff that like. I don't know. I was a little disappointed. I wanted to just what Paddington, what kind of underwear do you wear?
I wanted to shoot the shit with Paddington.
I did, yeah.
Paddington, do you wear Calvins?
Paddington, what's your advice on girls?
What do you fear most, Paddington? What keeps you awake at night?
When will Paddington 3 be released?
Paddington, remember that one time at summer camp? I'll kick your fucking ass. I swear to God.
Did you take that back about Paddington?
Don't
he didn't do
don't
anything.
talk to him.
That was
won't.
kind of messed up.
I won't.
But yeah.
Especially with him not in the room.
In other
man.
news.
That's
I
good
do
news,
want
yeah.
to, before we move on, I do want to talk about, Sean, you don't listen to rap too often, do you?
Nah.
Ryan doesn't listen to rap too often either. I dabble in the rap game. I don't rap.
Do you like that, or do you like Eminem's new album?
No, I don't. I actually don't like Eminem.
It's only rap I will listen to.
Do you like Eminem?
Do you like Venom?
Only his
Have you heard
Venom
that
album.
song? Venom from Eminem? Okay,
Venom,
Venom. So Venom, the new movie coming out next year, or next
does
month.
Eminem have a song in it?
Yes. So that movie, it is a Marvel movie, but it's not like the MCU, like Guardians of the Galaxy or Avengers or anything like that.
Not canon.
It's not canon. It's because it's from a different studio.
Okay.
Because back in the day, all the rights went off to different companies. So they all have their own separate universes. But Sony is coming out with Venom, and it just looks awful in every way, and everything about the production quality, it just looks very bad.
Yes.
And everyone's been memeing on it lately, like heavy. All the film people have been memeing on it just because how it's playing out. But on Eminem's new album, there's a song called Venom for the movie Venom, and it's
on his
very
album,
bad.
Kamikaze?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear
It's
that
like
one.
the last one. It's very bad.
Yeah, I can see that. Why
It's
it would
like
be the
it's just
last
a straight meme because he just like the chorus is like he mumbles Venom. He's like Venom, 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 Venom. It's really bad. And so
Hell yeah. So I'm talking about Eminem.
yeah,
That's a cash out right there.
I'm not an Eminem guy.
I've never been a huge Eminem fan, but
No,
if,
like back in the day, like Till I Collapse while I'm playing Call of Duty
I didn't even like
5
it.
or whatever. I liked that.
I wasn't a huge
There's a
fan.
couple ones, or like in Zombies, there's an Easter egg where.
Yeah.
He had a song with like Pink or something. It was really a good song. It was really cool.
Uh-huh.
I forgot what it was. Won't Back Down was what it was called.
Yeah, I liked it
And
actually.
it was really
good.
cool. And I was
Especially
like,
when
that's
you're
sick.
finding zombies too.
Yeah, it was good zombies music. But other than that, it's always.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine listening to Eminem now.
Yeah,
You know what
if
I
you listen, if you listen to rap and you've been living under a rock, you haven't heard about this. But like, it's like the diss with MGK and Eminem. I don't know. Have you guys heard it?
I don't know. I guess I'm living under a rock. I suppose.
Well, you don't. I'm assuming you guys don't listen to rap super often. But Machine Gun
no.
Kelly, basically dissed Eminem, and then Eminem dissed back, and everyone like lost their mind. Like, oh my god, someone's challenging Eminem. He's gonna fucking cook you up, dog. He's gonna roast your ass. Like all this stuff.
Eminem is like 45 and a loser.
I think he's 46. Yeah.
Yeah.
MGK had some like pretty funny lines in it, and Eminem had some pretty good ones. But the whole dispute, I think initially like kind of like sparked because in 2012, Machine Gun Kelly tweeted and said, "Haley's pretty cute," which is Eminem's daughter, or something like that.
Yeah.
And Eminem was like, "Yo, fuck that!" And then like, I guess they've had like some beef, and there's like a whole long story behind it. But like,
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny that they.
Did you ever see 8 Mile, that movie
Yeah, I've
with
seen it.
Eminem?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that since I was in like 8th grade,
Uh-huh.
and so this might just be the junior high schooler in me talking.
Yeah,
That movie was really cool.
it's a pretty cool movie.
I really liked that movie. Sean, did you ever see that one?
twice,
Had
yeah.
some great moments.
It did, like the rap battles. That
Yeah.
was sick. Those were amazing.
Those were cool. But,
I liked that movie. Speaking of disses to each other, well, this will lead to where we want to go. But do you ever see that tweet that XXX tweeted at Drake?
Yep.
And it was like
Yep.
a very inappropriate porno image that looked like Drake, but it wasn't Drake.
I thought it was a video.
It was just a pic.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I swear I saw a video.
No, I don't know. Maybe, but he
R.I.P.
did-
XXX.
Well, do you think that's what happened? Do you think that caused the hit on him? Was part of it? Because I know Drake was threatening
You
it.
think Drake fired away at X?
Not Drake. Why would you do something that you could pay someone to do?
I don't know. That's
Do you
what I'm
remember when X first died and everyone was like, "Yo, this is a promo for his new album"?
saying.
He's coming back.
That was a bit fucked.
And he's still dead.
Well, he's faked his death before.
I know, but like everyone's like, "Yo, it's cool, he's not dead," and then like everyone else is like losing their mind, like, "Yo, it's chill, he's not." I swear, it's for his new album. And then
It's still not.
R.I.P. Like he's gone now.
Yeah. But speaking of Drake, something kind of happened recently with Drake.
You hear about that, Sean?
He's
What
getting
happened?
in a little trouble. You might have seen a meme or two about it.
Maybe not. Maybe
Started
not.
a couple days ago when a model, and I forget her name, but a model tweeted and was saying, or the news said how Mr. Champagne Poppy had like rented out a whole restaurant for a date with her for her 18th birthday.
And
Right?
she's 18. What'd you say? Drake's 31.
Drake's 31. Yeah. And they were looking at their, which is fine. 1831, that's a little obscure.
excessive, but it's
Yeah, a
whatever.
little weird. It does go back their relationship for about 2 years. Like him commenting on her photos or them messaging, and which is a little iffy. You know what I mean? Talking to underage girls is a little dangerous game. I mean, he's a rapper.
It's Drake.
It's Drake.
Come on.
You know, and
Drake is OVO.
But last night at the Emmys, actress Millie Bobby Brown was being interviewed. She's 11 from Stranger Things.
Yep.
She's a very talented young actress. Was talking about how her and Drake are always texting and how they would hang out sometimes, and how she didn't share the text messages because that's between him and her.
Oh.
And how they talk about boy advice and how Drake misses her. He'll text her out of nowhere and say, "I miss you," and she'll say, "Oh, I miss you too." And it was like you see this young kid essentially,
11.
yeah, you see 11, and you're like, "Oh, is somebody gonna tell her? Who's gonna tell her that that's not okay? That she's texting a 31-year-old man? Like obviously not her fault, but like, because as a kid, if Drake was texting you, you'd be like, "Holy shit, this is the coolest thing ever." But it's like you step back and you're like, "Whoa, this is kind of weird. Like maybe this ain't it, Chief."
Chief, I don't think this is it.
So now
Maybe he's just a really big fan.
that's
like,
what she said.
I
But
love
still,
Stranger Things.
I
Who
love
doesn't?
Stranger Things. Her performance in it is spectacular.
it is.
I miss her.
Also, she's 11. That's another bonus.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, she's not
We were
actually
also talking about
11
this
years
earlier.
old, right?
No, she's 14.
Anyways,
But we call her 11.
yeah. But me and you were talking
much
about this,
better.
how actors will get a lot of backlash for tweeting something 2 years ago.
10 years ago
10
for some people. Yeah, no,
Jeez.
No,
The-
yeah, so
the-
How do
they
you even
tweet something.
scroll that far back?
you don't.
Right,
You
they-
just search it.
Yeah, they tweet something that long ago, but Drake, he hasn't done anything yet. But he's doing some some things.
So
you
what
know?
it is the Me Too movement, for all of its glory and all its goodness that it's caused, has like ruined a lot of predators and sex offenders' careers in Hollywood, which is good. Those guys shouldn't be in positions of power over women or children or anyone really in that
Yes.
industry.
Oh, yeah.
But it's sad because that movement hasn't gone anywhere in the music industry. Like you still have Chris Brown who
Beat the shit.
beat the shit out of Rihanna and he's still doing just fine.
Mhm.
You have Drake who probably no matter what they find,
No.
is nothing would happen to
Drake
him.
could have
Nothing would
killed
happen to his
someone,
career.
and I would still listen to his
Well,
music. It's
you
Drake,
have
bro.
what's his name? The Lil Pump, or you have one of the SoundCloud artists who's like a convicted pedophile at this point.
That's 6ix9ine.
Is 6ix9ine or whatever?
Jesus
Yeah.
God.
He like him and like 3 other guys like
Yeah.
sexually assaulted like a
XXX
Teenager.
XXX before he died beat his girlfriend, which was pregnant.
yeah.
He was accused of it. He was never guilty. But
Do you know why he wasn't
guilty?
guilty?
Because he died.
Because he died, and
Exactly.
all the articles were like, "Oh, his charges were dropped," and it's like, no,
No,
the
they
charges
were dropped because he died.
because he died, not because he was innocent.
Yeah, there's two very different things, and everyone mixed that up. And
Yeah.
I was like, no.
They're just like, he's a
Like-
free man. He
like-
died an innocent man. It's
Exactly.
Like, nah, he would have gone to jail.
Like, listen, I love X. Like, I like his music, but like, people defend him so hard because he's dead now, and they're like, "Yo, he was a good guy. His charges got dropped." He's like, "Yo, Chief, he probably would have gone to prison." Like, for real.
Do you know what I do hate about when anyone dies though? Like obviously there's always an insurgence because like Mac Miller died and all of a sudden like the next week his album rose to #1.
Was it number one?
Yeah, it was
I thought
number
it
one
was 7.
for a little bit. You know what I mean? Not for long, but
Yeah.
like for a minute. And then it's like that's cool because like there's probably a lot of fans or just people out there who would have never listened to him.
Yeah.
And not that it's like gonna help him at all, but it's like his legacy and what it means for other people is okay. Now I actually like this artist. It's a damn shame that he died from drugs. I don't really want to die from drugs. I don't want anyone I love to die from drugs. So, kind of influencing that culture. But like, I hate the elitists that are like, oh, you guys are all just listening because he died. And it's like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
who cares? Why are you gonna claim?
Yeah,
your...
I've never heard Mac Miller until now. What's your point? Like,
It's like, wait, what do you? Why are you better for claiming your fandom? You know what I mean? I just hate
you're
that.
a longer fan. Like,
Yeah, it's like
who cares?
if you really like, and then it's like that same thing as like, oh, they've gone too mainstream now or whatever. Like, unless a band sells out, you just like having something that's hipster. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Versus like,
It's
oh,
unique.
I'm genuinely happy for these artists because I've loved them for years, and now they're finally taking off where they can make a lot more
Exactly.
money. They have a lot more opportunity, things like
Success.
that. Versus like, oh, they're not underground anymore. I don't care about them anymore. Unless they like sell out their music or whatever, because that's usually what happens with studios. Is like they make you
Yeah.
do all this stuff and give in to all the tabloids and all that crazy stuff. But yeah,
Mm.
what do we have next on deck, Bray?
There's lots for that.
There's a lot.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you can tell. We're kind of just talking about shit today. That's like hip with the kids.
Yeah, we gotta-
of the
Yeah.
times. Another one, Sean. I'm gonna ask you a quick question.
Okay.
Do you know who the owner of Tesla is by chance?
Isn't that that musky guy?
Yeah, Elon Musk, eh?
Mm,
Eowyn?
Yeah,
From
so
Lord of the
he was in the news a little bit.
he's always in the news.
He's always in the news because he does some wild shit.
He does. He's a cool ass guy. Before we
He's
get
so
in,
dope.
I have so much respect and admiration for this dude.
Why is that?
I don't know. Like he was born rich and then he
Yep.
made a company and he's a very, very smart dude. I
Yeah.
love the idea of Tesla's and what he strives for. And the SpaceX program that he's funding I think is really cool.
Yeah.
While I may not I mean I agree with it actually. He's kind of sold me on it, but and then he just has a boring company that just makes weird inventions like a flamethrower,
Yeah,
which is
so
hella cool.
If you didn't hear about that, Elon Musk sold, was it 500 or 5,000?
Like 5,000, yeah.
Yeah, so Elon Musk sold 5,000 flamethrowers. Just sold them. Like,
In like 6 hours.
yep.
Oh yeah.
How much were they?
They were 500.
$500.
I almost bought one too. Like I was in a place and I saw it and I was like, do I want to? Like I'm gonna think about it for a minute.
Well,
And then by the time I was done thinking, it was gone.
It's just like,
Mhm.
imagine buying something from Elon Musk. Just like a flamethrower. You have a flamethrower. Like that's so dope. That's cool.
that is so sick.
What
And it
what
was-
billionaire is like I'm gonna sell flamethrowers?
Dude, it was actually all a part of like, okay, so like he has like this, just like this little side project.
Uh-huh.
And like, I forget what he named it. It's called like, I can't remember the name, but it started
Company?
off, yeah,
The
it's
Boring
like,
Company.
yeah, the Boring Company.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And,
Is that
and
really
it
what
started
it's
off with
called?
like, a hat.
Yep.
And like, so basically what the idea is just, it's just one exclusive item that is available for a limited amount of time. So people will buy it. And then
You move
after
on.
that, like he's not selling that same item again. and he moves on to a different item. So eventually he got to a flamethrower. I don't know if that came right after the cap or if it took him some time.
I think they've only sold 2 things, was the
No
cap
way.
and the flamethrower, because they decided, okay, we want to make X amount of dollars off of this. Here's what this is going to cost. Here's how many we're going to sell. And so they don't inflate it. They don't say, all right, let's just take orders until we're done making them, things like that.
Like,
It was like,
this is what we're
it was
gonna
like we
make.
have X amount of these. This is how many we're going to sell. This is how much we know we're going to make back. And
It's almost guaranteed because they will sell them all.
yeah, of course they will. I should have bought it. Next time he comes out with something wild, like if he comes out with a grappling hook.
Yes.
sold.
Yes.
Yeah, imagine like a Batman one. You
Like a-
shoot it and it like pulls you up.
Like a light- like a
like breaks
lightsaber.
your arm. Yeah,
Oh,
a
you're like-
lightsaber.
You
Oh,
could make a lightsaber.
can you imagine the real world implications of that? People have looked into it, and it's like you can make the laser for it, but it's so unstable that it would just either go on forever or it just couldn't exist because it needs a containment of a lightsaber. So it needs to have like a cap, like an end, and so it needs to have its own like magnetic force field to keep the
it there,
the energy
the energy
concealed.
there.
It's like, what the hell? So it's like the real world implications of a lightsaber would be bad if you could just cut through anything whenever you wanted.
Yep.
Like gun control is one thing, but like
Lightsaber
lightsabers would
control.
mow down the world.
Hmm.
Anyways, back
Where
to
were we
Elon
talking?
Musk.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
cool ass dude.
he's a cool guy.
He's a billionaire, and yet he still gets in fights with people on Twitter. Just nobodies will just he'll just call him out and just start shit with them.
He's funny though. Like he's actually like
He's
a
a
funny
funny
guy.
dude. And,
How,
like,
how old is he? Like 30 something?
He's
Like
probably in
40?
his 30s or 40s. Yeah, he's young. I
Wow.
feel like he's really young.
youngish,
Oh, yeah.
He has like this freaking grunge ass emo girlfriend, Grimes, the singer.
Ooh.
Who has-
Really?
Oh, he's
Yeah.
he's dating Grimes?
Yeah.
I heard that before. That's
Wild.
I know, that's so cool. It's just this nerdy ass rich dude who gets in fights with people on Twitter and has an emo goth GF. Tell me that's not what we would do if we were in that position.
I would probably.
Exactly.
that's how I would live.
Exactly.
I
Like,
would fight everyone on
he's the
Twitter.
coolest dude ever. And so,
Recently, he
well-
got on a podcast,
yes,
He
he was on
got-
the Joe Rogan.
the Joe Rogan
Podcast.
podcast.
An amazing podcast.
Did you
by
watch the
way.
whole thing, Sean?
I started it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
I watched the
though.
whole thing. It was like 3 hours
3 hours.
because I just put it in and went to work
zoned out.
and listened to it.
Uh-huh.
And it was amazing. It
So
was-
basically, if you didn't hear what happened in this podcast, it was pretty good. So Joe Rogan, he's sitting there and he's smoking a little bit. Not anything. Actually, where was he? Was he in California? He's in California.
Mm-hmm.
So it's legal there, but he was smoking. So he was smoking marijuana on the podcast, like in the video. It's and what does Elon Musk say? He's like. No, he's like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's marijuana and tobacco or whatever. He's like, huh? Is that legal? Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's legal here. It's California. He's like, and what did he say? He's like, do your stockholders care? Or
Well, he's like, do people care if you do anything? And like, do your stockholders like keep you from doing stuff? Because that was something they talked about at the beginning. Was like,
and he
Elon
was
kept
like,
getting texts from his friends saying like, be careful what you say, don't do anything dumb.
And he does that.
And then he smokes. He just hits the blunt, and I swear, like it just went in his mouth. He didn't inhale it. He took one hit and passed it back.
Yeah.
And like he gave us the
Nothing happened,
best
yeah.
picture ever.
Yeah.
Like his face is just gold. I'm sure everyone's seen the meme of it.
If you have not seen the meme, just look up Elon Musk meme. You will find it. And it's,
Mm-hmm.
he just takes a hit of it and passes it back. But then there's so many videos that come from it. And it's really just made my life better. I'm not going to lie.
Oh yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah, great podcast. Elon Musk is actually getting sued. This came out yesterday.
What?
Wait,
For what?
sued for smoking?
No,
weed?
no, not for that.
Oh.
Well, his stocks did plummet 7%
I
after
saw
that.
that.
Yes.
That's a
After
big
smoking
deal.
weed.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is rough. But at the same time, and everyone was crying out too. This was dumb too. Everyone was all mad because they're like, well, Tesla drug tests their employees. And it's like, when you make a company, you can do whatever you want.
You're the owner.
You can tell your employees they they
wear
can't
shoes.
smoke weed, or well, I mean, there's certain laws, but
You can't
but
wear
you know what I
shoes.
mean. But it's like, if you're upset about that, rise to the top, or don't support that company. Either or, I don't care. But
Bang.
don't say he can't do it because his employees can't. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? They don't have to be perfect shining examples of the whole world. They should be of good character, but I don't think legally smoking, hitting a joint is the most evil thing you could ever do. So, yeah, no, he's getting sued because the whole Thailand Remember when all those little boys, that soccer team was stuck in the cave?
Oh yeah, he sent a pod down.
He
there
sent a
to try-
submarine pod.
to try and help.
Yeah, and
He was like, "I can fix this."
yeah, and some people, the diving team, were like, "Nah, we're not using that."
Yeah.
And the guy said, "No, you can shove," because Elon was like, "No, it'll work. Like it'll work. Trust me, guys. Come on, we can do this. We ran tests in California. We can do this." And the guy was like, "No, you can shove the pot up your ass." And so Elon responded in some way. They were yelling at each other. And he made some kind of insinuation because the town where the diver was from has like apparently like a rumored like or child trafficking sex problem, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so then Elon Musk called him a pedophile, like
Ooh,
on
nice.
Twitter or in an interview or something. He called it on there somewhere.
Yeah.
And so now that guy, the diver that he called a pedophile, is suing Elon for defamation. So
Yeah.
slander, essentially.
That's lame.
And is asking for like $75 million in like retribution, essentially, for ruining his name and for the emotional trauma it causes.
Oh God,
I don't know. That's interesting.
that's whack. That's what that is.
What part that he would get, someone would go that far as to
Someone
sue,
would ask
or
$75 million for.
I mean, when you're dealing with
Well, why didn't they want to accept like his like that solution? Like, did they have like any other like better solutions
yeah.
or?
the solutions that got the kids out weren't that.
Oh, they
Essentially,
eventually
they
got the
didn't
kids
try
out.
Yeah, they got the kids out, but
But they didn't try
it,
Elon's.
they decided that it wasn't safe and it wasn't going to work, and
Uh-huh.
and it was their call at the end of the day. They were running the operations and not Elon. But who knows? Who knows? But the kids got out. Okay, they all lived. So at the end of the day, that's good. That's the important part.
True.
But that is very interesting. Elon Musk is a god. Someday we'll have him on the podcast.
I'm sure we will. Yeah.
We'll give him.
That's the dream.
We'll
that's
see
the
if he wants
grind.
to
We'll share
have
a
an
blunt with
edible.
him, too.
Yeah.
Maybe he's too afraid to go on a podcast again.
Hey, Elon, you want this brownie? This completely normal brownie?
Oh, cool. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll have a taste of that brownie.
Thank you.
It would be so boring for like an hour, and you'd be like, "Yo, can I have another one?" We're like, "Nah, dude, we don't have enough."
Yeah,
Sorry."
have as many as you want.
And he just dies on. He just trips out.
Ooh.
Speaking of marijuana,
Speaking of weed,
Coca-Cola Company
Coca-Cola.
is considering launching a product with CBD in their sody pops.
I heard about that.
Which is a chemical found in cannabis.
Yes, so it wouldn't give the users high. It wouldn't get them high,
Hmm.
but CBD.
Isn't it like relaxing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know
It's-
too much about it.
It's kind of like it's almost like an anti-anxiety, I guess.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to call it an anti-anxiety just because it's not like FDA approved, but like that's kind of like why people use it. Like, you can like use it in an oil, or you can like smoke it or stuff like that. But
Yeah.
So it's
You can do all sorts of
basically
stuff.
CBD's in weed, but it doesn't get you high. CBD
Correct.
itself doesn't
Yeah.
get you high.
THC is what gets you high,
Oh,
and then
okay.
CBD is something else.
That's just like another add-on because it's just in weed.
But I just
So
think
it
it's
chills you
cool
out.
that, like, in a way, Coke is going back to their roots.
Coca-Cola.
Put drugs in a drink.
Yeah, that's the American way,
I
man.
bet that was someone's idea.
Put some drugs
like
in
we
your
had
drink
Coke in
again.
this once. Like we can put CBD in it, and someone was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Okay.
I just thought that was a little interesting story. There's really not much there, but would you guys try it? You guys
Oh,
would
yeah.
try it? I'd try it. I'd be down to chill. Except the problem is,
Mm.
Coke tastes like ass.
Yeah, put
You
it
don't
in a
like
Mountain Dew.
For
real.
the
What?
gamers, put it in Mountain Dew.
CBD Doritos, please.
Ooh, yeah. I'm just saying, Coke is like the worst soda. It's not
I think
good.
Pepsi's worse, but like, who the hell goes to any kind of event and is like, "Yo, do you guys have Coke?"
You have Coke products, not Coke.
Ugh. Yeah, Coke products, but not. I mean, I'm saying like people
No
are
one
like,
cares
"Coke,
about
is Pepsi okay?" Oh God.
Unless you're like 40 and you're like, "Do you have Diet Coke?" Listen, if you're a mom and you drink Diet Coke,
You just keep doing exactly what everyone thinks you're doing.
you keep on living.
We have a whole bunch of Coke in my backyard because that does well at parties for some reason.
I've never drank
I think we just have a couple of friends who.
I guess
like
I
it.
got the Coke for myself.
Sean, you're a Coke advocate.
Oh, I love Coke.
Shit.
Oh, no,
I
mine-
love Coke. I bet you guys feel real stupid right now.
We're not the
No,
ones. We're not the ones drinking
I was-
Coca-Cola.
I mean, I'll agree with you on one thing.
Tastes like
Pepsi
shit.
sucks.
Pepsi tastes like shit.
The Beppis.
Bippis.
Beppis.
Bippis.
So Brayden,
I mean-
you're a Mountain Dew man, aren't you?
Yeah,
Right on.
I guess
Baja
I'm-
Blast or Voltage or just OG?
it's OG.
Just the traditional.
Yeah,
green
Baja
stuff.
Blast is pretty solid though.
Badger
But they put
Blast.
CBD in probably anything
They
but
could.
Coke. Like if they put CBD in piss, I'd probably drink it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I take that back. But
That's a little.
Yeah, I was
far.
about
just
to
not-
say, like, you know what? We can
I-
arrange something.
I might drink.
Wait,
piss
what,
over
what,
Pepsi.
what
do you
kind
want
of,
it?
What kind of?
Do you want it iced?
Yeah.
Or do you
Reaction.
want it hot?
What kind of reaction would it be if you put it in an energy drink? Would your body just not know what to do?
What,
It's
piss?
like an
No.
upper. No, it's like you take an upper and a downer at once.
So it
it's
just
like,
evens out, or do you get crossed?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have that powerful of an
Yeah.
effect. It's
Okay,
like
well, I'm talking like a 64-ounce refillable can from Maverick.
It'd probably get your heartbeat going really fast, and your head's like, "Yo, let's chill out."
yo.
But
Oh,
you're
yeah,
like,
no.
"I need to go on a
Weird.
run." You know what I mean? That's just me talking out of my ass. That's a guess.
Not an actual factual scientific thing. So, yeah. Next on deck.
we got a couple of
There's
solid
been,
ones. On
yeah, we
there.
do. There's been a bit of a controversy. This actually has come out in the last couple of hours with Bert and Ernie.
What's going on with them?
They're
Worrying me
doing
because
okay.
I haven't heard anything about this. Like,
Okay.
You haven't? I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just before
are
I
you,
came.
are you
here.
worrying? I'm worrying about this. What's going on?
I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It's just definitely interesting
it's
case
fine.
on society. But I believe who was it that first? I think the producers.
Yeah.
Or no. So one of the original writers for the '80s show Sesame Street, he is an openly gay man, and he came out and said, "I always wrote Bert and Ernie to be gay and be homosexual," and a lot of people, they celebrated that, and a lot of people hated on that, saying it's for kids and whatnot. And then the actual TV show producers came out and said Bert and Ernie are not gay. They are very they
straight.
they didn't necessarily they were straight.
They
They were-
said they
they
didn't
were-
have like anything. They were
Yeah, that they
puppets.
were puppets, and
Uh-huh.
it wasn't about that. It was about showing kids friendship.
Yeah.
And then the outcry in response was everyone was like, "Well, what about Mrs. Piggy or Piggy and Mrs.
Kermit.
Yeah." And it's like, Jesus Christ, what is going on?
It's
Like, what-
friendship,
like-
but as long as the pig and the frog can fuck, though, that's cool.
The pig and the frog can date because
Yeesh.
they're heteros, but everyone else we just don't talk about.
Yeah,
No.
they're friends.
And then Frank Oz got in some Twitter fights, the puppeteer for and creator of them. And it's just escalated to a very weird situation because it's like this shouldn't matter either way. They should have never addressed it. Like, who cares if Bert and Ernie aren't
It was
gay?
kind of lame.
It is lame, and it's lame that it's turned into such a social justice argument, and everyone's losing. Because I agree, like, representation matters, and little kids should, I think personally, like, should grow up maybe not aspiring to be something that they're not either way, but they should know that sexuality is, I suppose, a spectrum, and that if they really are a certain way, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, like,
It's
that
weird-
none of that
it's
needs to
weird
be portrayed
teach.
through puppets
Yeah.
on a kid's show.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? What should be is like a universal love for everyone, no matter what they are.
Yeah.
And as far as puppets, you can do that with how they look, with how they act, with how they talk, with anything like that. You don't need to do it through like a romantic or sexual nature, I suppose.
But I ship Miss Piggy and Kermit.
I hate Miss Piggy.
Come on.
No, she's so annoying. She's such a diva.
Whatever,
I
bro.
hate her. No.
Love everybody.
Oh, you're right.
I know.
You got me.
Yep.
You got me there.
But yeah,
I'm
that
more
was
of a count man.
I don't know. I feel like Sesame Street, they're kind of becoming a little more proactive with that kind of stuff. One thing that I actually have a lot of respect for, in one of like their newer, I guess, episodes, they featured a new puppet that has autism.
Yeah.
And I thought that was actually really cool. Like, just because they gave it like an approach that was, now, I'm not comparing autism to homosexuality. Don't I'm not doing that. But just in like the sense of representation. Now, like they represented like a autistic puppet, and like they represented it with a lot of respect and accuracy, which is really cool. I mean, it wasn't something that like they used to like, they didn't use it for like a joke. They didn't use it for anything like that. It was really,
It was just a puppet.
Yeah.
It was just another character.
yeah. And I mean, like they like established that like, you know, like she was different and everything. Like,
Yeah, she had autism.
Yeah.
But it wasn't negative. It was just a normal character.
yeah, it was like a really cool way of kind of like exposing like kids to that, I think.
That
And
is an
then-
interesting way to do that. Because actually, I don't think I've ever seen, like, on a cartoon, you know, like that being portrayed at all.
Mhm.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, anyway.
But then again, I mean, everybody basically agrees that you should treat like people with mental disabilities with respect.
Or just
But-
everyone in general.
Everyone in general, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so I guess that's where like the controversy comes with homosexuality, is that not everybody agrees with that,
Yeah.
even the producers and
But-
writer.
Like, I don't know. I'm torn because, you know, like I was saying, representation does matter a lot. Because, like, kids, a lot of people, I was reading a lot of the replies to things like that, and a lot of people were saying, like, when I was 7, I was a boy and I liked boys. Do you know what I mean? Like, not in a way like girls are gross, but it was like, no, I like boys. Like, I see what my parents are and I want that with a boy. And, you know, and I think that's a weird thing to kind of for us to comprehend, but if it makes sense and that's truly how they feel, like, you know, kids who are that age might know or be curious as to what that is. And I think we see a lot of hate in the world where it's like we make fun of everyone who's not exactly the same, be it race or nation or anything like that, or sexuality, you know. So for a kid to see a show that everyone watches at that age and see something that's normal, or see that there's a character that they treat with respect, be it autism or something, anything like that, you know, that is very important. I don't know. So it's a tough decision. I don't know how they should have handled it or what they could have done, but yeah. I don't know.
No, it's
Interesting thought.
It's different, for sure.
And I mean, I think with that, like with Bert and Ernie, like the writer himself, I mean, I guess like he said that he wrote them to be like a gay couple, but I mean,
Yeah.
nobody ever really like saw them as like a gay couple. They saw them as a couple of friends living together. But I mean, still people have like jabbed fun at it before, like in Family Guy, like they'll have like jokes of like Bert and Ernie being gay and everything. There's been
Yeah.
jokes of it. It's just, it turns out that was
actually
true.
are, yeah.
They actually are, or at least according to the writer. I mean, the producers, I guess they basically have the power now. I don't even know if that writer he's not even, I don't think he's even in there anymore. But he is the original writer for Bert and Ernie. So, I mean,
I couldn't tell you. Maybe he sold the rights or
Yeah.
something.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's up to whoever owns them.
That's true.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you can make all the characters you want, but once you leave the show or once you get fired or whatever, it's not really yours
It's
anymore.
not your boat
You
anymore,
get
son.
sold. So, yeah,
We
there's
got
a lot of.
We got a few more things on our list
Yes.
here, though. This is a pretty girthy episode. I'd say it's not bad.
It is what it is.
She's pretty thick.
But you guys have heard some of the things going on with Post Malone.
I
right?
have not. I saw that on our list and I was curious.
Like his like near death experience.
We'll get into
yeah,
that.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Ah.
So first he was on a plane, and as
Almost.
it took off,
Yep.
it broke its landing gear, like the wheels, and so they couldn't have landed, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much without almost dying, because it would have gone nose first and had a big problem essentially. And so they ended up flying around for like a couple hours trying to burn all the fuel in the plane so that they could land going as slow as possible. And then, so that was the first Post Malone incident. That was like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago,
He
4 weeks
also
ago.
got in a car wreck.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
correct.
next week he was in a car crash, just a smaller one,
Yeah.
but it was like the week after. And
Yeah.
he like in an interview, he's like, "Yeah, God's trying to kill me," or "God hates me," or he said something like that.
Yeah.
And I think it was God's trying to kill me. And then the week after that, his old house that he used to live in got broken into by like armed robbers, or maybe they weren't armed, but they were like looking for Post Malone
Oh shit.
to like beat the shit out of him, but it wasn't his
Whoa.
house anymore, and so that they, you know, that Post Malone was okay.
Find someone else or what?
I don't think there was a problem, but yeah, they did find someone else, or somebody else called the cops, or something. I forgot what it was exactly.
That's wild.
But the other day, people were talking about like what they think caused this problem was he was playing with this cursed box. He was on a show of like Ghost Hunters or something like that aired, and it was like the world's most haunted box. And he was like shaking it or something. So people think that that's what caused all this bad luck is him playing
Shaking
with a haunted box. And that's why the world is trying to kill him right now.
That's funny.
I don't know. Do you guys think curses are real like that?
No.
No?
No, I don't.
Why not?
I mean, no.
I don't
But-
think you just get cursed. I don't think a ghost is just like, you have bad luck forever now.
Yeah.
Like, I could, like, if a ghost affects you and whatever which way, that's cool. Like, you know, I've never seen it myself, but I can see that something similar happening. But I can't see a ghost being like, you are always going to be cold on your right arm forever. Done.
Boom.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like being blacklisted by ghosts.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of curse folklore was never, some of it wasn't ever ghosts, really. Most of it.
What was it?
It was always like the god that they worshipped, or sometimes the demons that, you know, either they worshipped or they acknowledged existed. And it would essentially be like some cultures viewed it as like essentially like a challenge in a way. Not a challenge, but like a fail-safe. Like, if I don't do this, I will be cursed. And so therefore they must do it. They do everything that they can to accomplish the goal for whatever reason. So they avoid the curse, and that the curse would like hold a responsibility to them or to a society essentially. But I don't know. Yeah. Curses are interesting. It's not like a ghost like lives in the box and follows it. I would say it's like a, this belief of I don't know, of all the will in the world, I suppose. I don't know.
I guess
Kind of an
like
interesting
failure to accomplish like I guess like a divine given task, or I guess tampering with something that you weren't supposed to tamper with, were kind of like the causes of curses. I guess
On our list, it says Post Malone cursed. And when I read cursed, I was like, what swear word could he possibly say that would offend me that bad? And now I
C-word.
get it.
cursed.
Yeah, he was like, Post Malone's cursed. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've heard Post Malone say every
No,
word.
he's Mormon. He lives in Utah, bro.
He's got a point. Post Malone does have a house in Utah.
Imagine just going outside, you're checking your mail, next door neighbor, Post Malone. Like, hey, what's up, man? You're like, what?
He's like, hey neighbor.
Oh my gosh, your face. Is that Post Malone? Did you know Post Malone's like 22?
Yeah, he's 22.
It's wild.
Dude.
I told you that the other day, I think, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
'Cause he's crazy.
What?
He's
Yeah, he's
22.
22.
That dude, like, he looks like he's 35. Like,
Yes.
Freaking nuts.
He's always
Yeah.
tired.
always tired.
Probably that.
I watched an interview with Post Malone, and they asked, why buy a house in Utah? And he said, I'm going to buy a bunker because Utah's like the middle of nowhere. I don't remember how he said it, but he's like, Utah's in the fucking middle of nowhere. No one's going to get me out here. It's Utah. And then he said something like, you just walk into a grocery store and everyone has a fucking gun between their, like, in their pants or something. And I was like, oh, this is really funny.
Posty.
Good
You're
old
too good to us,
Posty.
Posty.
Thanks, Posty.
All right. To finish up,
What's our last
we have
one?
a Texas grandma shoots
Yes.
massive gator linked to missing miniature horse.
This is what
Yes.
I've been waiting for.
Yes,
Yes.
this is the grand finale, ladies and
This is
gentlemen.
not a Florida man, boys and girls. This is a Texas grandmother.
It's like the Rock to the Scissor
It is.
when it comes to Florida, man.
Uh-huh.
Texas grandma.
The gator weighed about 600 pounds, actually.
Whoa!
Yeah. And just this granny, she had to kill it, man. I'm trying to find the information.
The
on it.
gator?
Yeah.
Wait,
So
was
the
it?
gator ate her miniature horse, and she tried to kill the
Is that
gator.
why it was 600 pounds?
That's a safe guess. Yeah.
Let me look it up. Braden, have you ever seen a gator? Didn't you go to Gator World or something? Or didn't you go to, what was it? You went to
Gator
Florida?
World. Yeah, I went to Florida. I saw an alligator there.
Alligators scare me.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it ran across the street. I think that's where I saw it. Yeah.
It just scampered across the street.
Yeah, it was pretty far away, but it was like close enough where you're like, I just saw an alligator, kind of thing.
Wait a second.
You're like, oh, that thing had a pretty long tail. The snake had legs.
They got weird looking dogs here in Florida.
Whose owner? I'm gonna go knock on their door. It just went in their backyard. I'm gonna see what's going on there.
Just let them know their puppy's
Oh,
home.
she took it out with one shot. Looks like she's got a big old
Dude.
hunting rifle.
Is it like one of those like
She
old like
dropped
muskets
it
or
with-
something?
No, yeah, it's like a 308.
Dude,
That's insane though.
I love
So
these
shout out
stories.
to grandmas for just doing the Lord's work and taking care of the gators that woman's braver than the whole U.S. military. I'll say it right here, right now.
Damn, bro.
Can we get
She's
that?
braver.
Support our Texas grannies.
The thing was 12 feet long.
I know, but she lost her mini horse. That's kind of sad.
She was probably fueled with rage.
Probably. She
mean,
she
she's-
should have shot it 30 more times for good measure.
I mean, mini horses, when
Should
you
you
think
fall-
about it, they don't do shit. I mean, people get them
Hey,
because
you take
they're
that back.
people get
Take
them
it back.
people get them
Sean!
because they're a miniature horse. Because they're a midget horse and they're adorable, and that's why people get them, because you got these Texas grannies that just maybe she's lonely. Maybe she just needs a friend. Maybe that friend's got to be a miniature
Mini
horse.
horses are not useless.
Maybe this miniature horse was her best friend. And of course, okay,
All right.
you know what? I take that back. They're not useless. They're like, it's like having a dog, you know? They're there for emotional support. But outside of that, they're not going to plow your field. They're not going to do a lot of
What if
stuff.
it does tricks?
But
All right, so
this horse was probably her best friend, and that was taken away.
I
from
bet
her.
it could do tricks.
it was just her
Probably.
miniature horse. They said that the gator ate it a couple years ago,
What?
and they've been on the hunt for it recently.
Dude.
And then they finally found it. They lured it
how do
in
they
with
know?
a seasoned. I don't know how you know.
How do you, they're like, yeah, this is the horse killer, all right.
He must have had, he had like some like defining feature.
Yeah, like a scar on his left eye or
He
something.
had a tattoo
Gator
of an
had-
eye on
this
his
gator
left
had 8
ankle.
legs.
Yeah, she
Can't miss him.
she lured it out with a seasoned raccoon, and then she went for the kill. And I think they have it on footage. It's a pretty cool looking video. But
Dude, this is like a whole like Captain Ahab
I
story.
can't wait for like a
get an
live action
adaptation.
movie played by. She looks like Betty White. She could be cast Betty White and Prophet.
She'll still be alive.
She will still be alive
She'll
in
still be
50
kicking.
years. So,
Isn't Betty White like 90 something?
yes, she is
Like 80
legitimately
something?
older than sliced bread.
I saw
I think
that.
we did talk about that before. But
That's pretty wild.
yeah, anything else we got? Anything
I
off
think
the
that's
top of our
all
heads?
the topics we had on there. If you're still listening, we love you, and get ready for October.
October,
'Cause
baby.
we're gonna mess you up.
We're coming.
Mhm.
Anyways, thanks for listening to our shooting the shit talk.
Yep.
Love
Farewell.
Love you. Bye.
you. Bye.